Hi, Jessica. Congratulations on your wedding. I'm so happy to have you as my sister now. I hope you and Felix have a wonderful life as husband and wife. Thanks, Melinda. Of course we'll have an amazing life together. He's married to me. He's the happiest man in the world. I am his trophy wife. He likes to brag about me to his friends and acquaintances. Wow, you're very confident in yourself. Oh, which is good. Having self-confidence is good for a healthy relationship. Sorry, did I sound snobby? I tend to say everything that's on my mind. You seem very strong-willed, unlike Felix. He can be a little sensitive and self-conscious, so I'm glad you're a good contrast to his character. I heard from him that you're very strong-willed, too. He said he's never won an argument against you. He always loses. Even as kids. He said he'd always take his toys away from him and never give them back to him. Not the nicest older sister one could have, huh? That's just how siblings are when they're little. We get along for the most part now that we are all grown up. But yeah, I guess the women in his household tend to be stronger than the men. Maybe except for my mother. She's not as strong as the rest of the women here. I can tell. She tends to be quiet and goes along with what everyone else does and says. I think I'm more like my grandma than my mom. My grandma is a lot stronger than her. You mean you look more like your grandma, too? You're not as good-looking as your mother. Felix is good-looking, too, but you… not so much. You're saying that my looks aren't good? Isn't that a bit rude? Sorry, I just assumed you already knew. Felix chose me because of my looks. He wants our child to look as beautiful as me. I hope your genes don't get in the way. We don't want ugly children. We're going to have perfect and outstandingly beautiful babies together. You're beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, I'm not so sure. I'm starting to get worried Felix chose you only for your looks and nothing else. You only dated each other for 3 months before getting married. Maybe he still hasn't seen this side of you yet? What side of me? I'm beautiful on the outside and on the inside. Thank you very much. You speak very bluntly too, don't you? I wonder if that's a sign of aging. No. I was going to be more polite with you, but I'm starting to think that's not necessary. You're already past 30 years old. You're basically a granny. You must be getting crankier and more rude to people because of that. If that's true, then you'll be even worse by the time you're 30. Don't forget that you'll grow old too. You're not an exception. Or are you a robot or something? Might explain your lack of manners. You're annoying. Did you know that? You've started to get on my nerves. How dare you call me rude? You're mean! Calm down. I didn't mean to be mean. Let's get along as sisters, all right? I didn't message you so that we'd fight each other. I want us to get along. I just wanted to congratulate you again and want to get to know you since we'll be living together at my parents' place. I heard that your parents are renovating the house. I wanted to live there if it's going to look all nice and new. Your parents seem like nice people, too. I think we'll get along just fine. They treat me really well, and I always feel welcomed by them. The way you treat me and the way you treat my parents is very different, don't you think? Couldn't you treat me a bit nicer? You're quite mean when you talk to me. I saw the way you act all fun and bubbly in front of my parents. You're just kissing up to them, aren't you? This is the real you. You're not as nice as I thought you were. Well, of course. I want to get along with them so we have a happy life living together. How long are you staying with your parents? Yeah, it happens to be my house too. I don't plan on moving anywhere anytime soon. You're not moving anytime soon? But you're old. Why aren't you moving out? If you move out, we can have an extra room to use. So you should move out soon. You should stop leeching off of your parents. I did leave this house once after I graduated from university and got a job. But then I quit that job, so I came back here. but I have every right to stay here at my parents' place. So, you're a jobless leech. I heard you never got another job after you quit that job. Aren't you ever going to get yourself a job again? Well, I'm not exactly working right now in the sense of having a job, but it's hard to explain. Aren't you embarrassed of yourself? You don't have a job and you're leeching off of your parents. I still haven't got a wedding gift from you either. When are you going to get me one? Or do I have to wait until you get a job first? So that's why you're treating me completely different from how you treat my parents. You think I'm not worth your kindness because you're looking down on me for not having a job and living with my parents. I want you to leave the house as soon as possible. Actually, I want you to leave right now. It's embarrassing living with a leech. I wouldn't want anyone to find that out. Plus, I don't want Felix to be taking care of you if something ever happens to your parents. I have every right to live here. You can't tell me where to live. I don't mind if you come move in with us, but I don't want you to keep telling me to leave. You can't just go on telling me what to do just because we're living in the same house. Plus, I'd never ask you to look after me. Now that'd be embarrassing. Once your parents are gone, Felix and I will be keeping the place, not you. Got it? So I'd like it if you can be gone by the time we move in. I have the right to keep the place just as much, too. I'm their daughter. I don't understand where your logic comes from. You lack common sense. No wonder why it's so hard to get you to understand things. Do I have to talk to you like I have to talk to my 5-year-old niece? If you have a problem with me, we can talk about it in person. You're coming over to our place in a couple of days for dinner, right? We can talk to each other when you come over. Fine, I'll explain to you why you need to leave the house in very easy and simple terms next time I see you. Sure, I look forward to hearing your very logical reasoning that is full of common sense. I'll make you understand. Just wait and see. What was so logical about your explanation? There was no logic behind it whatsoever. You seemed very drunk and about to pass out, but are you still up? Yes, I'm still up. I haven't passed out yet. Do you remember what you said to me earlier at the dinner? I was so taken aback by what you said that I almost dropped my glass of wine. What did I say? I don't remember much from the dinner. I had a little too much wine. You called me an old hag and then yelled that I need to stop being a leech and get the hell out of the house. You seemed very drunk, so I'll forgive you if you didn't really mean it. Oops! I said that out loud. I guess I couldn't contain my feelings any longer. Not that I was containing my feelings all that much to begin with. So you don't even want to blame it on the alcohol? That's how you really feel about me? I feel so relieved to know that I let those words out and you heard them. I guess you also don't remember the look on Felix's and my parents' face when you yelled that. You were pretending to be such a good girl around them that it was shocking for them to see you like that. I'm sure they think the same way about you. They're just shocked that I had the guts to say it straight to your face. They must be happy that I told you the truth that you needed to hear. Nobody wants a lazy old hag leeching off of them. Your parents must be proud of me. I'm the heroine who fights off the persistent evil leech from the house. I see. So you were the savior of the day by yelling at me to leave the house? That's exactly it. Now do you understand what I'm saying? If that's how everyone in the house thinks of me, then I guess I should leave. Yes, you should. That's what I've been telling you. Just leave the damn house, you ugly leech. You don't belong there. It's going to be my house eventually, and there's no place for you. You might still have quite a bit of alcohol left in you. Maybe you should sober up first before you keep talking to me. Or you'll probably end up regretting everything later. Stop blabbering on and just leave the house like I'm telling you to. Enough talking. Start packing your stuff and go. Leave before the renovation starts so that the house is all new and refreshing without your presence stinking up the place. So you really want me to leave? That's what you really want me to do? Yeah. How many times do I have to tell you that's what I want? And that's what everyone else wants. Nobody wants you there at the house. Is that so? That's sad. Too bad. Wake up and take a look at the reality of the situation. Nobody wants a jobless loser lying around the house. Just leave and never come back. I don't want to see you at family dinners. I don't even want to see you for Christmas. Isn't that saying a bit too much? Are you telling me to cut ties with my family? I still want to be in touch with my family even if I leave the place. Yeah, right. You're just going to come leech some money off of everyone even if you come to visit. I can see it now. We don't want to have to deal with you begging for money. You're not only an adult now, you're an old hag. You should be able to live on your own. Live away from society like hags are supposed to. Fine. If you insist, I'll leave. I'll pack my stuff and leave just like you told me to. So you finally agree to leave. Don't go back on your word, got it? I won't believe you until I actually see you leaving the place. Now I can move into the place with my mind in peace. So the heroine saved the day after all. I'm so glad I didn't give up trying until you gave in. Yeah, well, let's see who wins the day in the end. Are you feeling all right, Jessica? Are you hungover? Because you seemed like you had a bit too much to drink last night. I didn't drink all that much. I am completely fine. I don't have a hangover. I didn't know you liked to drink so much. You drank all of my favorite wine. Did I? Sorry. Your dad said to drink however much I want. But you took every single bottle off the shelf. I was saving one of them for my birthday. It's a very special vintage that I was really looking forward to sharing with everyone. I doubt you could even taste it, the state you were in. Your birthday? When is your birthday? It's about 2 months from now. Why do you ask? Do you want to come to the party too? You're still planning on staying at your parents' place, aren't you? You better take your party elsewhere or I'll be really mad. I told you to leave the house as soon as possible. Did you already forget what I said last night? Oh, about that. Felix is here on his knees begging for me to forgive you. Are you planning to get here soon and join him? He shouldn't be the one apologizing for you. You're the one who caused the problem. You should be the one here right now apologizing. What's with you all of a sudden? Acting all tough and strong. Don't tell me what to do. Plus, don't lie about what Felix is up to. He's at work right now. No, he took a day off from work just to come here and apologize to me. What? Why is he doing that? There's nothing to apologize for. I was trying to be nice and lenient with you since you're younger than me, and you're also married to my brother. But I've already had it with you. You better not get me any angrier than this. I don't get it. So what, you're older and happen to be my husband's sister? That means nothing. You're just an old hag who leeches off her parents. Why do you think Felix went through the trouble of taking a day off work to come and apologize to me? There's a reason why nobody should be getting me mad at this house. A reason? You think you're so important even though you're just a leech? He's apologizing to you just because he's weak-willed, unlike you. Don't you even try to tell me what to do. Okay, then let me tell you why he's here apologizing to me with every ounce of his soul. Fine, just tell me then. Stop beating around the bush. That's because I'm the one who has the money. The renovation that you were looking forward to, I'm the one who's paying for it. What are you even saying? As if you can pay for all that renovation. Do you even know how much renovation costs? There's no way you have money to pay for that. You're lying. If you're going to lie, you better make more believable lies. You're right about me not having a job right now. But I never said I was leeching off of my parents. There are reasons why I can't work right now. But I used to make a lot of money at my previous job. I have a lot of money saved. You probably can't even imagine how much because Felix doesn't make nearly as much as I did. And while I'm not sure if I can call what I'm doing a job exactly, but I make good money off my blog. I guess it could be said that posting blogs is my job. I love to travel, so I used to blog for fun. Now I make enough money to live off of it. Yeah, right. As if you could be one of those success stories. It's not so rare these days. There are a lot of bloggers who make a lot of money. After I started to post videos from my trips, my blog started getting a lot of views and I received a lot of money from the ads. But because of COVID, I haven't been able to go traveling for a while. That's why you said you don't have a job? Yeah, I still write blogs from time to time, but I don't feel like I was doing the main thing needed to get the views. But I still get enough money to live and support my parents when I need to. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I had the wrong idea about you this whole time. You were being very misleading. That's not fair. I just didn't feel like explaining myself to someone who kept calling me names and telling me to get out of the house. Plus, I wanted to get to know the real you a little more. You old hag! You were playing with me! I won't let you mess with me anymore. It's not like I was trying to mess with you. You pretty much did it all by yourself. I tried to explain at first, but you cut me off to just talk crap about me. So I kind of lost the will to explain to you after that. Don't blame it on me for the way you made me feel and react. Still not fair. I would have treated you differently if I knew that. You should have told me when you introduced yourself or something. Anyways, when are you getting here? I'm waiting for you. Felix is pissed off with you. Why is he pissed off with me? What did I do to him? You were in debt before you got married to Felix, weren't you? About $10,000, was it? You were going to make him clear the debt for you. Yeah, so what? What does that have to do with you? Felix doesn't make enough money to pay your debt. So I promised him I'd give him the money to clear the debt for you. That was going to be my wedding gift for you guys. That's why I hadn't given anything to you yet. No way. Are you serious? You were going to give me money to clear my debt? Yeah, because I thought you were going to be a good wife to Felix. I just wanted to help you out so you two could start off your married life together debt-free. I wouldn't have minded spending that much money for you if you weren't so mean to me. I can't believe this. I didn't know you had so much money. You told me to get out of the house and to never see my family again. You said nobody wants me around. So I thought I might as well do just as what you told me to do. What about the renovation? Are you still paying for that? Who knows? That's none of my business since I won't be living there anymore. Maybe my parents will cancel the renovation since they wouldn't be able to pay for it. Neither can Felix. So don't try to make Felix pay for the renovation or for your debt. Make sure you pay for them with your own money. You better get a job soon. I heard you quit your job before the wedding because you were planning on depending on Felix for his income. And you thought you wouldn't have to pay any rent or utilities to live in that house. But I hope you can help my parents pay for the mortgage. They were having trouble paying for the house before I started helping them. So Felix apologized to you by getting on his knees because you contribute so much to the house and this family? Felix and my parents will be so troubled if I leave the house. But you can help them out, right? Since you're so strong-willed, you can do anything, right? Pay for your own debt. Help my parents pay the mortgage and pay for the renovation as well. You can do that all on your own, right? Or would you rather come over here and get on your knees to apologize to me too? But I told Felix that if you're going to move in here, I won't speak or see anyone from this family ever again. Because that's what you want. Or am I wrong? I'm pretty sure that's what you told me. I didn't. Did you forget how to type out words? How about you come over here so we can talk to each other in person? Get here right now! Where did you go? Why did you run away? It's not very mature of you to run away just because everyone was mad at you. I was so scared. It was terrifying to see my husband get so angry like that. I've never seen him get so mad. And your parents, too. They wouldn't side with me. I felt so lonely and scared. I couldn't stand it any longer. They did look very angry. It was so chaotic to see Felix and my parents getting furious at you and you crying like a little baby. I don't think I'll ever forget about this. Too good to forget. You were the scariest out of them all. You thought so? Then maybe you shouldn't have given me such an attitude towards me from the very beginning. I was only acting like that to you because I thought you were a jobless leech. Even if I was a jobless leech, that's not how you should talk to anyone. You were so confident Felix and my parents would side with you. Of course! A leech deserves to be kicked out of the house. If you had told me earlier that you weren't a leech, then I wouldn't have treated you that way. You're helpless. I told you that it doesn't matter if I was jobless and dependent on my parents. You still have no right to treat anyone like that. It's just plain rude and mean. Anyways, Felix told me you guys won't be moving into the house. So I'll continue living here and pay for the renovation. What about my debt? Will you pay it for me? No, I'm not going to do that. Why not? Why would I? After the way you treated me? Anyways, I figured if I said I was leaving the house because of you, Felix would choose not to move in with you. I was going to pay for the renovations anyways, because I want to do it for my parents. I had no intention of canceling the renovation from the beginning. So you were just bluffing all along? You knew Felix was going to give in to you. And your parents need you to pay their mortgage on the renovation. They do need my financial support, but that's not the only reason why they stopped me from leaving the house. I'm their beloved daughter, after all. They wouldn't want me to leave even if I was the one depending on them financially. But Felix thought he'd have to take on all the financial burden if I left. Which is why he dropped to his knees to apologize to me so that I wouldn't leave and said that he won't move into the house with you. But that's not fair! I really wanted to move into the renovated house. Now we have to keep living in this tiny apartment? It won't feel as tiny if you live there alone. What do you mean by that? I doubt Felix still wants to be with you. He's really disappointed with you after what you've done. Plus, he doesn't want to pay for your debt. Is that why you're no longer giving us money? So that he would get disappointed and divorce me? No, I'm not giving you the money because you were mean to me and I no longer wanted to give you a wedding gift. I lost the will to celebrate your marriage. You called me names and you told me to leave the house that I'm paying for. You really crossed the line. You even called me ugly to start with. But you're ugly on the inside. I don't want you as my sister-in-law anymore. But I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to end up alone again. I'm sorry for saying terrible things to you. I deeply regret everything I said. So will you forgive me and forget all about what I've said to you? I'll be super nice to you from now on. I promise. It's pointless to apologize to me. You should apologize to Felix. I'm not going to try to change Felix's mind for you. I want him to get divorced anyways. I'll change. I promise. So please, can you help me convince him to stay with me? Tell him I've really reflected on my actions and that I'm going to be the sweetest sister-in-law you could ever have. Yeah, right. Do you think I believe that you're actually going to change? I know you'll go back to your rude and mean self once things start going your way. You're not going to fool me like that. This was a good lesson for Felix to not choose someone like you again next time he gets married. No, I'll really change. I learned my lesson. I'll become the kindest and most politest person you'll ever meet. So please, forgive me and convince Felix to stay with me. No, I'd never do that for you. Don't show up in our lives ever again. I don't want you to talk with Felix or my parents ever again after you're done getting divorced. But you let it go when I was calling you names at first. Why wouldn't you let it go this time? That's different. I was giving you a chance to see who you really are. But you wouldn't stop being mean even after I told you to stop. I realized what kind of person you are, so I decided to get rid of you in any way I can. I got so fed up with you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Please, don't make me end up all alone again. I was so lonely before I met Felix. Then you should have treated him and his family better. You should have thought better before you said those terrible words to me. I'm so glad you're not coming to this house anymore. Now our family gets to live happily and in peace without your presence. Goodbye, and don't ever show your face here ever again. Jessica apologized to me a number of times after that, but obviously I never forgave her. She still had the nerve to ask me to pay off her debt again, but I refused, of course. As if I'd ever change my mind about that only because she apologized. Felix was really in shock to find out what kind of person Jessica really is and deeply regrets having married her just for her looks. He learned his lesson and decided that he needs to spend a lot more time dating next time before he decides to marry someone. They got divorced shortly after that because no matter how hard he tried to believe she could change, he really couldn't. He no longer could stand being with her, so he got divorced as soon as he could. Jessica still has to pay off her debt, so she ended up moving in with her own parents so she could pay it faster. From what I heard from Felix, her parents got so mad at her for getting divorced so soon and having a debt that she has a hard time paying by herself. Eventually, she got kicked out of the house by her parents because they got fed up with her attitude. She never really seemed to change after that. She thought I didn't deserve to be treated nicely because she thought I was leeching off my parents. It turns out she was trying to leech off her parents after she moved into their house, but her parents didn't like that. Since she quit her job right before the wedding, she thought she wouldn't have to work ever again and didn't want to get a job again. I guess she was so harsh against me when she thought I was leeching off my parents because she really wanted to leech off of somebody too and felt jealous. It seems that she was just hiding her true intentions and thought I was a threat to her from being able to leech off Felix and my parents. Felix was worried that I hated him now for bringing a woman like that into our family. I assured him that that's not the case. He made a hasty decision, it's true, but he was fooled by her as well. He said he'll be careful who he chooses to be with from now on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click the like button and subscribe for more videos.